we're glad to have everybody here tonight on a beautiful evening, and so that you're here at our Precinct 3 Government Center. So it's great to have you. What we thought we would do is on the races that are here tonight, that we would do like the state reps 2 minutes each and kind of give a little brief introduction, and then we'll go into our some of our other office holders. So I'm glad that we're having this forum time. I think we'll try to go in a semi-ballot order, which is our races for the United States representative. And I know we've got a representative from Brandon Gill's office, and then Mr. Chick, is he here?
Right here.
Perfect, good. All right, well, make your way down.
Hey, what's going on, folks? My name is Robert Chick. I'm from Sanger, Texas. I own a small healthcare recruiting firm. I've got a canned speech I usually do, but I don't feel like saying it right now because I've been knocking on doors all day, and I'm sure you guys are going to hear enough speeches tonight. I'm going to say something that you guys probably don't want to hear, but it is the truth based on conversations I've had across thousands of doorways across North Texas. There is a blue wave coming, and I'm not sure what the other races are going to do about it. I know what we can do here. We have to win and unite. And if you're familiar with Denton GOP politics, you know we're a little factionized right now. There's a lot of different little factions. But we're going to need everyone to play for the name on the front of their jersey and not the name on their back. Plus, we're going to have to win independence. Independents, they're pretty clear. They want one thing. They want solutions to their problems, and they're just not getting it right now. From every level of the government, they're dissatisfied with it. So if you want to know how we're going to solve problems like your property taxes, how we're going to cut your grocery bill, if we can split the atom, we can figure out a way to lower your grocery bill. And if we're going to do things like properly represent Denton County, Wise County, and Cook County, and go to stickwithchip.org, come grab my card. It has my personal cell phone number on there because everyone should have their congressman's phone number. Anyway, that's all I got. I appreciate y'all being here, and thank you so much for organizing.
Perfect. Thanks. We're going to sleep in my name. All right. And then Mitch, you're coming from you're representing Congressman Brandon Gill. 2 minutes.
I'll try to keep this as short as possible because I'm not branded, but I'm here on behalf of Congressman Brandon Gill. He's in Washington, D.C. tonight. We did not make it. They were working on passing the state law. And Brandon, for as long as I've known him, has been a bulwark for the Republican cause and the conservative strong man up there in Washington, D.C. So if there's anything I can do, if you'd like to reach out and get in touch with the campaign, please get in touch with me.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. All right. We have representatives for the comptroller's office. Yes.
Okay. Once again, I'm Ronnie Jones, and I'm here representing Don Huffines for comptroller. And so I want to tell you why I support Don Huffines. Don is a businessman, family man, and a proven conservative fighter. He and his wife, Mary Catherine, raised and homeschooled 5 kids and now have 10 grandchildren. And I think that's increasing this year. He built a business from scratch that created hundreds of jobs, so he knows what Texas families and employers face. When he served in the Senate, Don proved he would never sell out. He refused the perks, never took a pension or salary, and even paid for his own office furniture because he works for Texans, not the government. And Don got results. He uncovered one of the largest government corruption scandals in modern Texas history. While others stayed silent, he fought back, sending 6 crooks to prison and shutting down the agency overnight. That was the Dallas County Schools. Dwayne Carraway was the head of that. Now he's running for comptroller because Texas spends over $500 million a day, and taxpayers deserve a watchdog. Don has a plan. Doge Texas, audit government, expose fraud, waste, and abuse, return the savings to the taxpayers. This means real property tax relief and an end to Texans renting their homes from the government. That's why conservatives like Senator Ted Cruz, Ron Paul, Charlie Kirk, Riley Gaines, and over 75% of the Texas GOP leadership have endorsed him. Don Huffines is the only candidate with the courage and the record to clean up Austin and protect your money. So join in at the fight. And Don always says, say it 3 times. DonHuffines.com, DonHuffines.com, DonHuffines.com. Now you'll remember it. Thank you.
All right. Let's go to the Attorney General race. So we do, I believe we have a representative for Senator Middleton. Is that right?
I'm Mark Moffitt. I actually grew up here in Louisville, and good to be back on home turf there. Appreciate you being here tonight. I'm here on behalf of Senator Mays Middleton, running to be your Attorney General. And this is personal for me. So I don't really have a stump speech here for you, but I want to tell you why this race matters to me and why it should matter to you. My boys are in Denton High School, okay? Every day that they go to school, there is an assault on their faith and on their freedoms, okay, their liberty. And it's hard to watch. My middle child, Marcus Jr., named him after me. He looks like his mama. He's a good-looking kid. But bottom line, he goes up there every day, and he's in the pre-law program up there. Let me tell you what he told me. He says, Dad, we had a mock trial today, and they pulled out a notebook for us to swear in on. I said, where's the Bible at? In the real world, we do it on the Bible. He said, no, they said, we can't have a Bible there. Can't do that. And then when they swore the person in on this mock trial, they said, and I swore to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me God. No, you can't say that. Guys, this is real. It's happening right here in Denton County, and we don't believe these things are happening in our backyard. This is important. And this is the kind of stuff that we need somebody who has a track record of fighting against the atheist, fighting against the crazies, fighting against the insanity, and it's got to stop. The other thing we find out is we got the furries running around. They got litter boxes in the bathroom, okay? We need somebody that's going to stand up and fight for us. And that's why I'm supporting Mays Middleton. He has a track record of defeating the atheists. You got the 10 Commandments in the classroom there. He's the author of one of the bathroom bills there in No Men and Women's Sports. He was up there at TWU with Riley Gaines and the governor getting things thrown at him and threatened and all that kind of stuff. And he's fighting for you. And I'm asking for your support from Mays Middleton. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Next, let's do our State Board of Education. I believe we have Mindy with us. Good evening.
Hi, I'm Mindy Baumgartner. I'm running for State Board of Education, District 14. So a lot of people don't even realize what the SBOE does. They choose the curriculum that all of our children are using, all the instructional materials. They also are approving those new charter schools coming in. Excuse me, I have my voice almost gone.
There you go.
So it's a very important thing that we look at this. Now, some people may say our public school education is doing amazing. We're 35th in the US. That's a C. That's 70%. That's not okay. And honestly, we have amazing teachers. They need respect, but they need a strong curriculum rather than the ISDs blaming them for the kids hitting a 70% failure rate on the History Star. That's not okay. Our parents need more transparency. They need to know what's happening in that kid's classroom. They need to know exactly what handouts are being done, what textbooks are being looked at. At no point should a parent not feel like they know what their kid's learning. That's why I'm running. I have a doctorate in clinical psychology. Through my education, I worked with achievement testing. I worked with autism testing. I was the person that they came to when the curriculum failed. I'm not doing this by theory. I'm doing this by what I've seen didn't work and what will work. I hope I get your vote. I'm here to talk to you today. I don't have anybody in the primary. I do have somebody in the general, and we need to come out strong because we need a conservative voice on that board. My name is Mindy Baumgartner. I hope to have your vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Mindy. Next, let's have our state reps here. We got our 3 state reps. I guess we'll go alphabetical order. We got Representative Baumgartner here.
I won't need all of it, and it's a hard act to following that stud muffin over there, but hi, I'm Ben Baumgartner, State Representative for House District 63. I'm also your Republican nominee. And going into the 90th, I'm very excited because we're going to finally get something done about property taxes. I don't know if you heard Governor Abbott or not, but he's taking a hard line on this, and he's going to be up and down the state as he's already been. He'll be here next week sometime in Denton County pitching his plan, but we're actually going to make some movements to actually save us some money on there. We're going to do more to protect our kids. We're going to do more to limit government and get more, personal responsibility back into our lives. That's what I got, and that's what we're going to do. So thank you guys for your support.
I'm Richard Hayes. I'm State Representative, House District 57, and that starts over in Little Elm and runs west across the county all the way over to Ponder to the western county line. So it's a real long district. I'm running for my 3rd term, And I serve on Judiciary and Civil Jurisprudence Committee, and I serve on the Pensions, Investments, and Financial Services Committee. Those are both very interesting committees. Most of the committees are. I really enjoy what we call JCJ, Judiciary and Civil Jurisprudence. It's a committee made of 11 lawyers. Every member on the committee is a lawyer, and that was intentional because we're writing the laws for the courts and business organization code and just about every other code you can think of. Like I serve as vice chair of the Family and Fiduciary Responsibility, so we write the family code. So that's why we have so many lawyers on that committee. Dang. All right. Now, the reason that is because I'm a real estate and business lawyer, and that's how I got on the committee. I serve also on the board of directors of the Texas Conservative Coalition Research Institute. What we do is we meet during the session, and now out of session, we have a series of summits. Last week, I had a financial services summit that I was one of the panel members on. I will tell you that I believe in limited government, individual rights and freedom, free enterprise, and traditional values. Now, next session, here's what we're going to be working on. Real property tax relief. We're going to take a significant part of the surplus, which we're projecting to buy down school taxes. That's going to be one of our primary focuses. I will tell you that we also want to continue our DOGE efforts. I'm endorsed by the good President Trump, Abbott, Cruz, Gun Owners of America, Grassroots of America, Texas Homeschool Association, Texas Charter School Association. I'm unopposed in the primary, but has somebody in November. Appreciate your support.
Next, Representative Little. There he is. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for having me, Judge. My name is Mitch Little. I'm the state representative for Texas House District 65. It has been one of the great joys and honors of my life to serve this district. I want to thank you for the gift of running unopposed and for your support of state representatives like Ben and Richard, who are part of our coalition of the conservative willing. And my clients and my family appreciate that I'm not out banging signs into the ground like a lot of you are. This has been a wonderful time to represent the people of House District 65 in Denton County. I just want to remind you why we're there and why you elected me. Generally, when you elect a state representative, you want someone who's capable and aggressive. I want to just tell you a couple quick stories about what happened on the floor. When the bill to ban the Chinese ownership of real estate in the state of Texas came over from the Senate, the bill was weak. I passed 3 amendments to that bill that made it the strongest bill in the United States of America. Praise God. And we passed it and went on to the governor, and the governor signed it. We closed a 99-year lease loophole. And so now Texas land is as secure as it will be as any other state in the United States of America. Also, I just want to remind you why you elect capable representatives, why you elect people who can read, understand, and argue the law. When the parental bill rights bill came to the floor, amendments to end the social transitioning of minors in our public school system, amendments to, an amendment to end the sexual orientation-based clubs in our school.
Yeah.
Those amendments came to the floor, and those amendments passed in the span of about 5 minutes because we had audacious and capable and aggressive representatives in the Texas House, like myself, like Richard, like Ben, like Andy Hopper. And this has been a great joy to serve you. I'm glad to be running unopposed. I'm here to answer your questions and serve you. Always available. Thank you so much.
I did not pass a note that Terrence Huffines is in the house, and he came to speak on behalf of his dad. And so the board quickly voted to have you come back up and talk. So I love that. So let's give him a big hand. Thank you for coming out and supporting your dad. We appreciate you sharing him with the stage.
Is this the mic?
No, that's just a mic. They're both mics actually, but yeah.
All right. Well, hey, thanks for letting me speak. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Ronnie, thanks so much for coming up here and doing that. I'll just be really, really quick, but just wanted to maybe some behind the curtain scenes of what that's like to be Don's son. A lot of people don't know, my dad and mom hit hard times in the early 90s during the savings loans crisis. And so they moved into my great-grandparents' house, Don's grandparents' house on Main Street, where I was born in that house.
Yeah.
So it's only a few miles from here. And so our ties go way back in Denton County. We love Denton County. And I actually moved just to Flower Mound last Friday. So anyway, me and my wife and family are super happy to be here. So I really wanted to come and meet a lot of y'all and do this and speak on behalf of my father. But yeah, as Ronnie said, Don has some bona fides. He has been, you know, on Ron Paul's campaign since the 80s and then in 08 and again in 2012. And we all know Ron Paul is kind of the champion for fiscal responsibility. And that's what we have a chance here to do with the comptroller's race. You know, this is not business as usual for the comptroller's race. It's not Don's plan. He really wants to get his hands dirty and audit everything possible. He kind of looks at this as his one chance to do that. And that's his whole shtick. That's what he's always wanted to do is be a fiscal hawk, and he's been a fiscal hawk when he was a state senator from 2014 to 2018. And then anyway, that's his goal, is to kind of audit as much as possible, toll roads, schools, all kinds of different agencies within the state. And then another thing people don't realize is who runs the state, right? House reps and senators and the legislation, they're in there during session, but it's bureaucrats 365 days a year. They're in there running the state, doing all the paperwork. So really getting his hands in there and looking at all that. So fiscal responsibility is really what he wants to do, and that's what he's all about, and it's what he's always been about. So anyway, thanks again for letting me speak. I appreciate that. And yeah, thanks y'all. Happy to be a Flower.
All right, next we're gonna have our candidates for County Commissioner Precinct 4 come forward. If y'all will come up here and we'll line up for our forum.
Which order do you want us?
Why don't you sit here, Diane, and we'll just line up all the way down. Let's give them a big hand before they start. Let's give them a big hand. Okay, and Mayor Hudspeth could not be with us, and y'all go ahead and have a seat. Mayor Hudspeth could not be with us tonight, but he did send Laurie to represent him, so we're gonna give her a 2-minute greeting opportunity, okay? So grab that mic right there, the lapel mic, yeah. And then you can speak to this one, okay? Thank you.
Hi, obviously, I'm not Gerard Hudspeth, but I wanted to tell you a little bit about Mayor Hudspeth. Mayor Hudspeth was born, raised, went to Denton schools, went to UNT. He is a successful, dedicated businessman. He is a conservative Christian, which is so important in today's world. Mayor Hudspeth has been married to his wife, Diane, for 18 years. He has 4 daughters, bless his heart. Mayor Hudspeth has been a true leader in the city of Denton. He has what it takes. He knows budget. He knows people in the county. He knows people in TxDOT. Just this past week, he got a pothole fixed for the people at Robeson, and we were all ecstatic. It was either fix a pothole or lose a tire. If there's anything you would like to know, I've got information back here. I'm not one to stand up and speak, so I'm sweating.
You're doing great.
But we would appreciate you coming out to vote. Again, it's Mayor Hudspeth. Precinct 4, you heard that, Precinct 4, I know it's not on the sheet, County Commissioner. Early voting starts next Tuesday.
Thank you, Laura. Let's give her a hand. Hello, y'all. Good to see you. What we're gonna do, the committee has asked that we do a 1-minute introduction, and then we're gonna do 3 questions that are 2 minutes and then a 1-minute close, okay? That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do the same thing for the Justice of the Peace race. So we'll go ahead and we'll start here with you, Commissioner. Go ahead and do a 1-minute introduction.
Do I get a button?
For everybody. It hit the whole table. Okay.
It knows me already.
Yeah.
Good, hello. Good, let's go. Y'all, I am here tonight as your county commissioner for Precinct 4. I'm in my 3rd term and I'm running for another term. I have had the biggest honor of my professional political life to serve as your commissioner. And then last week, I got a huge announcement, just in case you haven't heard. Governor Abbott has endorsed my reelection. I'm so proud of that. He did that because he knows that, number one, I'm a tax cutter. He also knows that I'm a law enforcement supporter. He knows that I do what you want a conservative commissioner to do. Right now, we have the lowest property tax rate in Denton County that we've had in 40 years. Whereas the city of Denton is increasing its property tax rate, your county and your conservative commissioners are lowering it. So I'm here to ask for your vote. I think that I've earned another term, and I certainly hope you think so too. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll pass it down.
Thank you. So I remember sitting in your chairs a year ago, and I'm trying to, oops, remind me to put that down when I get back. So speed talking, 1 minute interest. My name is Valerie Roars, and I'm really excited to run for this position. The growth in Denton County is phenomenal, and specifically in precinct 4, the southwest quadrant there. So I was born and raised in Farmers Branch, Texas, have lived here in the county area off and on most of my life. We moved here to the Bartonville ETJ about 20 years ago to raise our two daughters in a more rural environment. During this time, I've spent about 38 years in the corporate sector and managing our family businesses. Specifically about 18 years in the telecom industry, managing large operations and sales teams, and then our family businesses were running farms and ranches. So I look forward to doing this job on a full-time basis and bringing a lot of enthusiasm and energy and professionalism to the position. And I look forward to earning your vote tonight. Thank you. I will remember my chair.
Uh-oh, what happened?
Hello, I'm David Wiley. I am running for County Commissioner in Precinct 4 and longtime party activist, former officer of this club, and it's wonderful to be back. I live in Argyle with my lovely wife Debbie, who I've been married to almost 9 years now. When I first got into this race, we went about talking to the grassroots, and I got the endorsements of over 100 grassroots members, 20 or 40 different precinct chairs across the county. I've gotten the endorsements of Mitch Little, Andy Hopper, and as well as conservative grassroots groups across the state. Joanne Fleming's with Grassroots America, We the People. Every grassroots group in Denton County is endorsing our campaign. I want to work on the council, on the Commissioners Court in order to help control growth and keep Texas safe from the Islamization that's coming. And so you need a fighter, and I want to fight for you. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. Why don't we let you go first on this one, okay? So how would you describe your governing philosophy, and how do you think you could impart that on the Commissioners Court?
What is my, did you say 1 minute or 2 for response?
These are 2. These are 2 minutes. Yeah, 2 minutes.
Government philosophy. Well, I am a conservative, and so I think that plays into every decision I make in terms of my conservative values. I bring a very strong business background, undergrad in economics and MBA, and spent many years in the corporate world utilizing those degrees and skills and such. And so I'm very analytical. I'm a problem solver. And I have to say also that what other people may see as problems, I see as a challenge, kind of like, ooh, goody, I get to figure something new out and come up with something really creative and interesting. But I'm also very open-minded. And so I want to hear other people's opinions. I want to try to obviously be respectful of their opinions and understand maybe a different perspective. But at the end of the day, I expect people to deliver on their commitments, on their responsibility, i.e. employees of the county, to do their jobs and do them well, and remember that the constituents are the customers. And from a budgetary perspective as well, I enjoy numbers and analyzing those things as well. And I think it's important, we're all talking about property taxes. I'm just as irritated with the property tax situation as anyone. I think I call it the game of whack-a-mole. Exemptions are great, but let's get the appraisals under control to begin with. So a lot of those things go into my form of governance of asking those tough questions. And then one other point with regards to budgeting, I look at things as a priority-based budgeting, not a zero-based budgeting. That's extremely arduous. But I look at things with just a very logical mind. of priority-based budgeting and if and how we can continue to cut more budget items if needed. So with that, I'll hand it over. Thank you.
Perfect, thank you. All right, Dave?
My governance philosophy is that, the government that governs less governs best. You need less government. The last 8 years, we've gotten twice as much government, and that the budget of the county is doubled, over doubled in 8 years. And if I was to spend 8 years in 2 terms, I would hope that we could do a better job of perhaps ending up at least the same point we are. I know there's growth due to inflation and population growth, but doubling in 8 years is way more than that. So less government is my philosophy. You can get to that by reviewing the budgets, by cutting out the waste, by not doing things that no role of the government. The property taxes, as Judge Yates has always told us, at the county levels, of 10% of your total property tax bill. So you could cut it completely out, and it would only result in a very little change in your property taxes. But every little bit helps. What we need to do is we need to work with the legislature to return local control to where we can have some of the abilities of the county to control some of the things in your life. Lately, the legislature has been letting that slip away as statewide interests have usurped some of the local governance capabilities of both cities and the county. And so I would work for that. I'll work for helping the groups that are already in place, TxDOT and statewide agencies, to work better to protect us and deliver on the services that they've already committed to. So less governance, less taxes, and protecting your way of life. That's my philosophy. Thank you.
Okay. Diane?
I'd like to ask you all to remember one thing tonight. I have 3 opponents, and by the way, someone who doesn't have any, you're welcome to one of mine if you would like. But I do have 3 opponents, and they're all going to tell you the same thing. They're going to tell you what they want to do, what they hope to do, what they plan to do if they become a commissioner. Yo, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to show you what I have done and why I'm going to keep on doing it for you if you feel like I've earned your vote. These are nice people. You'd enjoy having a cup of coffee with them, I think. But this isn't a popularity contest. This isn't about who you like best. And frankly, as far as governmental philosophy, I agree, the government that governs least governs best. But right now, we've got an extremely conservative and effective county government, one of the best in the entire state. Let's not mess that up by fooling with a team that is winning right now. So I ask you to really think about each time they say, I'll do this, I'll talk to so-and-so. Been there, done that. We have delivered for you the lowest property tax rate in 40 years. And that's one of the reasons the governor endorsed me. We continue to support the sheriff as he works with ICE to protect our communities, unlike the city of Denton. And that's another reason that the governor endorsed me. It's an important position. It's one that means a lot to your everyday life. You know me, you know you can reach me anytime, day or night. I'm asking for another term. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Go ahead and take them. We'll start with David. What should Denton County be doing in partnership with TxDOT to improve our roadways?
Well, the one thing that I have learned in this campaign is that there's a lot more about how it takes to work with TxDOT than I ever knew. And TxDOT controls everything. We want them to do things. Denton County's passed bonds. They've got money. They're ready to go with a number of projects, but in order to keep the statewide work at a manageable level, TxDOT has decided that they're going to focus a limited amount, $10 billion or something like that, statewide. And most of that's going to be out in the oil field to get energy so that we can have low gas prices. That has limited how much they will allow us to do with our own money, such as the 407 breakout, which we have millions of dollars in the bank in order to forward that project along on our own. But because they're not ready to take the workload on, they're not letting us do it. They are getting little bitty pieces of it broke out into individual packages. But I think that by working with the legislature, which I've worked to help get these guys elected, and I'm ready to go down there and work with them as we did in the last session to get some of the things passed and increase our presence with the Transportation Council and with TxDOT to get the projects into Denton County. We've had a lot of work done on 35E over the last 10 years. Not so much work on 35W. Hopefully we can get there. And just by shining the light, I think we'll get more action. Thank you.
Thank you. Diane, you go next.
What's our question, Judge?
What should the county be doing with TxDOT to advance our road projects?
Frankly, I think we're doing everything possible with TxDOT. We have one of the very best transportation consultants in the entire state, Juan Poster, who's working with us. And for every dollar that the county puts in to partner with municipalities, TxDOT, et cetera, we get back $8. That's a pretty darn good return on the investment. We're doing well with that. We have a list here of the projects we're working on right now with TxDOT. And David, I'd like to correct you. It says here, the 407 breakout is actually expected to be completed September of this year. So
September now. Okay,
it says,
okay.
well, you didn't think it was ever going to be completed, I believe. And you know, there are times I wonder if certain things are being completed in my lifetime. I have to admit that's true. But, you know, that's working with government. I came out of the private sector. And it really bugged me the first year I was a commissioner. I had to have a project request line in the budget to get a new ream of paper. I've gotten used to that. I understand it's y'all's money, so we have to account for it, and we do. The Denton County commissioners are the most conservative group of people you'd ever want to meet. They spend your money so wisely. I think you'd be proud of them, and I'd love for you to come talk to any of us, including the best county judge in the entire state. Thank you.
Thank you. You're passing it out. TxDOT in the county.
So, yes, thank you. So, I've had a lot of conversations with different folks regarding this topic. I've sat at the light at 407 at least 6 months ago and said, I want that billboard because I'm sitting here staring at it for a long time. So I have that billboard. But anyway, that's my reason, that billboard. So we're all hurting and feeling the pain. I live near 377. I'm about to feel it as well for the first ranch development coming in and things like that. But I think a lot of it with TxDOT is about relationships. And I think, Judge Eads, you work real hard to have good relationships and I'm going to use my phrase, be the squeaky wheel with TxDOT. But for my years and years and years in operations and sales, everything was about having good, strong relationships. And so as County Commissioner for Precinct 4, my goal would to be also to have those strong relationships. Consultant, great, but I will not defer to someone else. I will seek to strengthen those relationships directly and have those phone numbers on speed dial and be very much in the know and understanding and be able to have regular, I think more regular, maybe ongoing reports and seeing if people are coming back to the meeting a month later with their action items completed or not and where things are bottlenecked and need to be fixed. In terms of relationships, I think with our representatives are very important as well. And having a handle around the growth and having them be there knocking on the doors all for us and being a champion for Denton County, because our team has been knocking on doors for a long time, and everybody in the district has a little bit of different issues, but the recurring themes are taxes and the roads, and just, you know, how in the world, with even people who have moved here from other states, how could our roads, our infrastructure not be there at the same time as the new developments? So trying to work through that is extremely important and priority one for me. Thank you.
Good, thank you. All right, very good. Let's hand that to Diane. All right. This is our last question before the closing comments. What is a quality of life concern for the county, and what can the county do to address it?
Judge, I really think traffic is a quality of life concern. If you're stuck in traffic, looking at the billboards or whatever, that means you're not home with your family. You're not getting to your soccer games, or your football games, or whatever. And the more that we can do to make life easier for our commuters, those who do and do not go clearing to the Dallas-Fort Worth area. But that's something that we have to work on continually. We are over 1 million people in Denton County now. We weren't expected to get there until sometime next year, but we made it. And we get 90 people a day moving into Denton County, most of them into precinct 4. They bring their cars, they bring their kids, they don't bring their roads. So we have to begin to keep up with these people who are coming, and they expect to be able to get around. It's hard. It's very hard. I get calls every day, several times a day, from people who say, how come you don't do this? How come you can't do that? The answer is we look at all possibilities. But very honestly, we get along well with TxDOT because they know us. We have as our chief engineer for the county a former TxDOT engineer. And that gives us a lot of pull with TxDOT because they know she knows her job and she will do it right. I'm very, very proud again of the job that we've done. I asked for you to let us continue to do that. Look at my brochure. There's a whole list of little things that add up to big things that we have done for you. And again, remember, my opponents will tell you what they want to do, what they hope to do, what they'd like to do. I'm telling you what I've done, and that's why the governor endorsed me.
Okay, well,
So I will try to summarize into one. I think I'm gonna have to split it into two. Transportation is priority. We've got to fix our bottlenecks and quickly. But secondly, important is, I live on a ranch, and when I was 15 years old, I actually rode with the Farmers Branch Police Department for 2 years as an explorer. And I can't tell you, I'm 56, so that was back in '85. Things were different. There were no females on the force at all. And the minute my first night, they gave me the shotgun, and I would sometimes carry their sidearm on my ankle. And I got to chase down a lot of criminals because they couldn't run fast, and I was in track. So I have no fear when it comes to that. And I think where I'm going with this is the safety and supporting our sheriff's department and our first responders and ensuring that we get these folks out of the country, deport them if they're here illegally. We've got to do that. I won't even touch the topic of how I like to walk around my neighborhood with an ice shirt. I wish I could just see who runs, but we've got to stay on that. And our commissioners board has approved us as another level to support that with the 287G program. And with that also, I'm very aware of the topic of the Islamization of Texas and what that means, the behind the scenes, and what Sharia law means to our freedoms. And so rest assured, you can understand where my mindset is on that. And we absolutely will not have that here. So thank you.
David?
Quality of life. Denton has great quality of life. I want that to continue. The best thing about these forums is that we're all Republicans and we do think a lot alike. And we have the same position on a lot of topics. And so you do hear the same thing from time to time. I was lucky enough to this past weekend be in an all-day seminar with Valerie on stopping the threat of Islamization in Texas. John Gonzalo, a guy who puts these things on, being one of his classes or seminars for a dozen years now. He came out and talked to us, explained to us a little bit about the Aubrey Islamic Center that they're talking about doing. It's back on the schedule again. This week, Frisco, the city council meant to approve another mosque in Frisco, forward operating basis of the Islamic movement. We must stop that. That's a quality of life issue. If they get a foothold and they begin to expand, your quality of life is going to go down. It's not going to be property taxes that are a problem. It's lifestyle. They're the places where they come in, the counties, the countries that they come into, their focus is domination and eliminating non-Muslims. So that is quality of life. Lower taxes, better roads, all these things that some of my opponents say that they've been delivering for you and that we say we're going to, but they've done it. I will do that as well. I only get to do what's in the future. And if you want it done better than it's been done in the past, vote for somebody new, and hopefully that'll be me. Thank you.
Perfect, thank you. All right, now we'll do our 1 minute closings, and Valerie, we'll start with you. 1 minute closing.
Okay, great. So thank you for having this session tonight, and thank you all for being here. I think it's so important that we carefully and thoroughly vet our candidates for positions. You've got three of us here tonight. There are four of us, and one of us at the end of the day will be managing the county business, okay, and the budget process and the personnel. So as you leave tonight, I recommend you ask a couple of questions. Number one, who has the strongest business acumen, experience, credentials to run the business of the county? And then secondly, why? Why are they running? Is it to have an additional job in addition to the job that they currently have? Or is it power, politics? What is it? So I am running, getting off the farm, getting back involved in my community that is growing very, very fast, and I'm extremely qualified for this position and ready to do it on a full-time basis. And I really appreciate your time tonight. Look forward to talking with any of you offline, and look forward to earning your vote. Thank you.
I do want to thank you for having us out here tonight. This forum of Fireman Club is one of the largest forums of any political season. And it's great to see that it's continuing to be so. The role of county commissioner is more important now than it's ever been. With no annexation on the part of towns, all the growth from here to Wise County down to the southern part of Tarrant County is all going to be done under the control of the county commissioners. And they don't have very many tools in their bag, so we need to work with the legislature, as I've said many times, to get those tools back in the bag. I feel like I'm the best prepared to do that. Look forward to speaking to any of you here tonight. My brochures are back there. They've got my phone number on them. Call me. And even if you're not in precinct 4, because half the Flower Mound is over in that other precinct, you got friends over there in Argyle, Lone Oak, North Lake, up in Denton, actually. You know, tell them that Dave's a great guy and vote for Dave. Thank you very much.
Very good, Diane. You're the closing.
It's okay, Dave, I'm not gonna tell him that.
1 minute.
Thank you all for being here tonight. I always enjoy candidate forums, and I hope you've been watching what I've been telling you. We got hopes and wants and plans, and then we've got to do them. What did I do? Well, the first thing I did was to champion the first ever homestead exemption in the for our property tax. That benefited every one of you who is a homeowner. And then I championed and passed the first ever senior tax freeze for property taxes. Those of you who are 65 or older benefit from that right now. I think that shows you why the governor has endorsed me. He knows I'm a tax cutter. He knows I support law enforcement. He knows that I'm responding to my constituents, and I'll respond to any and every one of you, as I always do. Thanks for being here tonight. And again, look at what I've done. If there's anything on here I haven't done yet, I will do it. You can count on it because I've been doing it already. Thank you so much, and I hope I've heard your vote.
Let's give them a big thing. Thank you. All right, next we have our Justice of the Peace Precinct 3, and we have Judge Curbo, Mr. Caldwell. So why don't we do a 1 minute introduction? Okay, we'll do the same format as we did before. Go right ahead. Right ahead. That's for y'all.
Good evening, I'm Mr. Caldwell. I'm running for Justice of Peace here in Louisville, also covering a portion of Flower Mound, Holly Village, and Canyon, because I have been a participant in JP courts before, and I have seen courts run well, and I've seen courts run poorly. I would like to see more of the former and less of the latter. I have compassion for the small claims court litigants who for them, it's not a small claim, it's a big deal. It's the lives, they may be losing their home. Life, if there hasn't worked out for them, and I know what that's like, more so than the incumbent. I've also been to law school and I am a veteran. And so when we were preparing qualifications, I'm just as old. I have the same amount of experience as he does.
Thank you very much. Hey, can you guys hear me without the microphone? Because I got to tell you, it's been a little fuzzy back there. Many of you know me in the room. My name is James Kerbo. I've been serving you as your Justice of the Peace since 2019. So I've got a little over 7 years of experience serving your Justice Court right here in Precinct 3. As a matter of fact, the courtroom is just right upstairs, right above us. Let me talk to you about experience. For 8 years before I was elected, I was serving as a not only a self-represented litigant, both on the plaintiff side, but also on the defense side. The next 8 years, y'all, I've been serving your justice court with efficiency, with compassion, with love, with care, with dedication, and with education. You see, the justice court here, we get about 6,500 new filings every year. I have presided over 72,000 cases since taking office. Y'all, this is a responsibility that I hold very near and dear to my heart. I love this role. I love this community. I am born and raised right here in Louisville. I am from here. I am with you. I am a part of you. This is the people's court, and I'm the people for the people.
Perfect, thank you. These are a 2-minute response time, okay, on this next series of questions. So Judge Kerbo, how would you describe your judicial philosophy?
My judicial philosophy is very, very simple. Follow the law. Do not legislate from the bench. You know, I keep a cheat sheet on my desk just because I love to have it there. I stole it from a judge, so it is plagiarized. I'll go ahead and be honest about it now. It says, number 1, know your job. Number 2, do your job. Number 3, do only your job. And then number 4, one of the most important rules is the golden rule. What's the golden rule, folks? Amen to that. So it is my job, my responsibility, my duty to uphold not only the rule of law, but to treat every litigant who walks in that room with the utmost dignity and respect. I have done that from day one. Many of you know me. You've known me for years and years and years. In fact, I've been a part of the Republican Party here in Denton County since I was licking envelopes for Senator Jane Nelson when I was about 4 or 5 years old. I was nailing signs to wooden stakes for State Representative Jim Horn, also around that same age. We're not going to get into child labor laws. We're past the statute of limitations anyway. It doesn't matter.
Voluntary.
Voluntold. It was voluntold. But one thing that I want each and every one of you to know is that I love my community. I love what I do. I have got the heart of a servant. I put people first every single day. It is without a doubt an honor and privilege to be your justice of the peace, to serve in this role. And this is a huge role. This requires serious people to uphold these positions. Y'all, we are so blessed as a county. We have 6 incredible justices of the peace. I'm honored to work with each one of them, and we all use each other. You might have heard iron sharpens iron. That's exactly what we have right here in the county, and this is why we get better, especially at these community-focused positions like JP.
Thank you. All right, 2 minutes. What is your judicial philosophy?
I'm a constitutionalist. Article 6 of the United States Constitution requires that the judicial officers in every state swear to uphold, support, and defend the United States Constitution. Article 16 of the Texas Constitution requires a further oath to uphold the Texas Constitution, as well as an oath on top of that of integrity, that you will not make or receive bribes. In saying my judicial philosophy, I was a Federalist Society chapter president, so I take it that the purpose of government is to preserve our freedoms. That separation of powers is central, which is stay in your lane, and that judges are not supposed to be policymakers. That's the legislature's job. We are to apply and interpret the law, not decide what the law is. In my philosophy of do as you would be done by, the way C.S. Lewis said it, I want better than mere justice, which a lot of people take revenge to be justice. I want to make victims whole. I want mercy and grace. If life were fair, we would all go to hell, frankly. I want to give others as I would want to receive in their position, not just empty platitudes of saying do to others as you would do to you. It's a good saying. It's harder to live by it, and it's easier to be a martyr than it is to be saint. So I just want to provide the diligence, care, and skill that I've learned having graduated law school.
Perfect, thank you. All right, don't run far. I got another question. We're going back and forth. So what experience, whether it be legal, administrative, or managerial, best prepares you to preside over a court? 2 minutes.
In addition to my time in law school, where I was a class officer and student organization president, I also was a moot court competitor, where I took my turn both as an advocate and as a judge for the other participants, team members. So I have worn that hat. And then primarily, I come from the background as an educator. We're all just big kids. Whether we're 5 years old or 95 years old, we're all children in God's eyes. So I have worked with general education population as well as students with disabilities. So having patience for those who struggle to communicate, who have a hard time articulating for themselves what they're having a problem with. My heart is there for everyone, but most especially for those who have those difficulties, including children in terms of the truancy cases, in terms of elderly who might be losing their home in an eviction, and just all the vulnerable populations. I know what, I know I've seen judges, frankly, who acted like gods in their own little courtroom, and I want to have the humility to remember that I'm human too, because I've both been in a position of leadership and gone through the school of hard knocks.
Thank you. Judge Curbo, what experience, legal, administrative, or managerial, best prepares you to preside over a court?
Well, this is something that, let me start from the beginning. About 8 years ago, 9 years ago, I first took office. And ever since then, we all start what they call baby judge school. So you get an immediate crash course lesson in justice of the court law, or justice of the peace court law. Now, before that, I had spent about 9 years in property management. I managed thousands of units across DFW, Denton County, Collin County, and Dallas County. I was very, very familiar with eviction laws, landlord tenant laws, chapter 24, chapter 92, 94 of the Texas Property Code. And I had extensive years of work and experience in eviction court. Now, fast forward 2019, win the election in November, go to new judges school. And within the first year of me taking office, we had a little something called COVID-19, shuts everything down. So if courts aren't moving forward, what do we have to do? Well, we need to be making ourselves better. We need to be diving into the law, really studying. getting that knowledge, getting that education, getting that experience while we can't operate the courts. We were forced to close. So in October of 2020, I was recognized across the state and I was appointed to the Education Committee. Just so you know, the Education Committee is responsible for building, designing, and implementing the education that judges are required to take by statute in order to keep their judicial commission. It was about 3 months later that I was appointed chair of that committee and served as chair of that committee for the next 4 years. I teach law all around the state of Texas. Most importantly, I teach eviction law, teach occupational driver's licenses. Y'all, I teach laws that directly impact other communities across Texas. Not only do I serve our community, but I've helped to teach and train so the other judges are very well versed and have the applicable knowledge to apply it in their courts and their communities.
Perfect. Thank you, Judge. All right, the next question is for you. Let's go ahead and give them that. How will you manage your docket to avoid backlogs?
Just like I've done it for the last 8 years. Folks, you cannot have a docket of over 42,000 cases since 2019 without organization, without incredible team members. My clerks are some of the best in the county. I will die on that hill. This is my team that I have been blessed to build, and we get to work together day in, day out over every single case. We don't just do one thing or do another thing. Y'all, we do everything. There are multiple different types of filings in the county, and if you don't know that our justice court clerks are the backbone of the court, then you haven't been in there lately. Because let me tell you something, these clerks are responsible for processing all of these 6,500 documents, whether it's by e-file, coming in by mail, coming in by person, coming in by carrier pigeon. It doesn't matter. They are going to take it and they're going to process it. So putting the education and investment into my team that we get to build up for you, that is the biggest way to move the docket forward. How else do we do it? We have court every single day, twice a day. I've got 2 dockets. I've got morning and I've got afternoon. So we get in there and it might be 40 or 50 cases that morning. You might have an additional 10, 15, 20, or 30 in the afternoon. Sometimes it's criminal docket, sometimes it's civil. You never know what you're going to get. We have a loaded docket and it requires organization. It requires skill. It requires knowledge of the justice court laws. And that's exactly what I bring to the table.
Mr. Caldwell. You want me to answer it for you? No problem. Don't worry about it. It's all good. All right. Mr. Caldwell, how will you manage your docket to avoid backlogs?
By being willing to stay late, by being willing to start early. Sometimes litigants get stressed about being late to court. Having to wait when they get there increases their stress. If all the parties are present and ready, then I can, with consent of all involved, go ahead and start early. As far as the end of the day, there's no reason for me to hold myself to a hard 4:30 or 5 o'clock out the door time in order to finish the work for that day, although I do want to respect the time of those who can report that day. By being willing to stay until the work is done, because it's not an hourly job. It's an identity that you assume when you take the office for the 4-year term, where you're to be available as needed during that time. Just like school teachers will do tutoring before school, after school, parent-teacher conferences before school, after school. And then, yes, try to be efficient, handle as much as can be done in terms of doing the homework before a hearing to be familiar with the issues of the litigants that come before you, and follow up afterward to make sure that once a decision has been made, it actually gets recorded and put into writing that day, rather than having to keep people waiting, because as we know, justice delayed is justice denied.
Perfect. Very good. Okay, now, Mr. Caldwell, for your 1 minute closing. 1 minute.
I'm pretty sure we all know that voting starts on Tuesday for the March 3rd primary. In trying to express that I strive to serve, I want to help. I humbly ask for your vote for me, even though there's already someone in that position. I believe that the leadership philosophy that I learned in the military, which provides for succession planning, to where a good leader mentors a protege and replaces themselves in short order, like the commander trains his XO and his XO trains the platoon leader underneath him to take over. That's bringing in new blood to keep the next generation cared for well, and improving the system is something that I bring as an asset. Thank you.
Judge Curbo, your 1 minute closing.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, first and foremost, I know it's getting late tonight, and I am so grateful that each and every one of you are here. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here today, and I'm grateful, seriously, from the bottom of my heart, for the years of support, the friendship in this room, and the love that you've all shared. Y'all, you know what you get with me. It's been 8 years of dedicated service. It's been 8 years of passionate leadership, not just in the courtroom, but in the community. You're going to find me at food pantries. You're going to find me out serving the public. You're going to find me out doing the right thing, because it is my community and I love it. Just this last weekend, I wasn't out door knocking. I was with a bunch of teenagers at D Now, because student ministry is a part of my passion. I get to serve with middle through high school age kids, and I got to lead my first sermon from the pulpit. And let me tell you something, I stumbled and bumbled and did a terrible job, but it got the message across. Y'all, serving you is a passion of my life. It's something I love to do, and I promise you, if you continue to give me your support, your vote, I will continue to work hard and show up for you every day. Thank you guys so much. God bless you.
Thank you, guys. You did a great job.
I'm gonna have Kalen up here. He's our VP of Communications to make some announcement.
Perfect. So, so our Marks program for the Flowerman Area Republican Club is going to be our county court judges back at the Riverwalker normal location at Whiskey and Smoke. So please come out, hear what our judicial judges have to say about that. April, we're going to be having our municipal candidate forum. It's going to be right back here in this room. It's going to be Louisville City Council, Flower Mound City Town Council, and then LISD candidates once we're all filed. And then other push is tomorrow night with the Texas Red Republican Women. Commissioner Dawn Buckingham, our lane commissioner, she's going to be speaking. She's running for re-election as well. That's going to be at the Spring Creek Barbecue on 3040. And then other thing is we're in a new year. If you're a past member, we have over 100 members in this club. Please renew your membership. It's $25 or $40 for couples. If you're not a past member and haven't renewed and you're in this room right now, come talk to me and we need to get you a member now. We need more members and you know, start moving keys on Brown and Flower Mound. I think that's it.
Thank you so much. And yeah, we still have some people in club. Thanks to our program sponsor, who is Angie Cox, and she had a conflict in a meeting and she might be running back soon. She is our Denton County Central Appraisal District Board member, place 1. So she will be on the ballot sometime this year. So we'll make sure to get her re-elected. And then another thing is mailing ballot deadline is this upcoming Monday. And I was told that the application, if you know anyone who needs a mailing ballot to apply for their ballot in the mail, they have to check whether they want a Republican or Democrat ballot. Of course, you know, a lot of us in this room, hopefully 100%, will request for the Republican one. So if they don't check the party affiliation, they will not get their mailing ballot. So it's very important that they do that. Early voting starts Tuesday, February 17th. Election day is March 3rd. So y'all, we need to vote early because things can happen election day and then you miss it, right? Election day, March 3rd, at the close of the poll, we will have something called a precinct convention. Who has been to a precinct convention before? Thank you so much. If you don't know what that is, it is where your precinct chair, Republican Party, and at the polling location, we'll have a little precinct convention to talk about resolutions and have the delegates nominated to go to the Senate District Convention, and then after that, on to the state convention of the Republican Party. And so that's very important to get involved and get engaged. If you don't know what that's all about, come see us. One of us, there's a lot of precinct chairs in this room. And then anything that you want to know about early voting location, election day, where your poll is, because in Denton County, we have to vote at our polling location, votedenton.gov. And I know a lot of you know what I'm talking about, you're educated, but a lot of our neighbors and friends don't. So please spread the word, because people still don't know where they're voting and go to the wrong location on election day. So, yes, one more thing.
And then one more announcement I left off. If you're in HD 63 or the surrounding area, Representative Bumgarner, we're going to be having a coffee hour town hall. It's going to be at Allegiance Title on Flower Mound. Monday, it's President's Day. It's national holiday from 10 a.m. to 12. Come out, come talk to your rep.
All right, and Kayla mentioned tomorrow night, Land Commissioner Dr. Dawn Buckingham will be speaking in Louisville, Spring Creek Barbecue at 7 o'clock. If you haven't heard her talk before, you would be in for a treat. I did not know a lot more that office does other than land. So y'all have a wonderful evening. Thank you for being here with us and hope to see you next month.